I think the Philadelphia Eagles made a mistake in Super Bowl 57. I mean, there's several mistakes you can point to, but I think they made a mistake with their punter situation. And just to be clear, this isn't something I'm just saying after the fact when things went wrong, after there was a big return. This is something I said prior to the Super Bowl as well, is I didn't love the decision they made with which punter they put out there. So this is what I mean. These are all the punters that were in the game. Tommy Townsend at the bottom, we don't have to pay too much attention to. But the two punters for the Eagles that we need to talk about are Aaron Sipos, which I believe is how you pronounce his name. Still haven't learned that. I apologize, Aaron. But also Brett Kern are the two guys. So Sipos was their usual punter throughout the season and was solid for them. He wasn't the star, but he was solid for them. However, he got hurt late in the season. Brett Kern ended up taking over that role. So they went with Brett Kern instead. But then the Super Bowl comes along and Sipos says, hey, I'm ready to go. I can play. Put me in, coach. And Nick Sirianni did. And it feels like it's probably not worth the risk, in my opinion. The net yards per punt difference, as you see on the screen, is just a 3-yard difference. To me, that's not a big enough difference to take the risk of putting someone who hasn't done this in a while and might not be fully healthy out there. And then this punt happened. Again, I said all that prior to the Super Bowl, and then when I watched this, it was kind of like Chekhov's bad punt. As you see, it's a tough punt, and it allowed for a return from Tony. Although I paused it right here, I do have to say, the Eagles still could have made a tackle here. I mean, they have a lot of players who are in position to make a tackle, but Tony's going to make a great return. Look, as you see, all the Eagles players kind of went towards the top of the screen. Tony breaks it back the other direction and is able to nearly get a touchdown out of this. He got 2 to 5 yard line, and that was a big point in the game, as if they get a stop there, who knows? Maybe the Eagles win the football game if that punt doesn't happen. That was a big thing that happened. Again, is it totally fair to blame the Super Bowl on this decision? Of course not. A million decisions get made, but I do think, again, when we're talking about every little detail that happened in the Super Bowl, this was a pretty significant detail, and one that I thought went under the radar all week and leading up to the Super Bowl, and definitely went under the radar here, as many people said, bad punt, what are you going to do? Well, they had a decision as to which punter they were going to put out there, and they made the wrong one, in my opinion.